Kakbhushundi was now going to begin the seventh and last canto of his story. But remember, his storytelling sessions never ended, because each time that he came to the end of his tale, he would start from the beginning all over again. His life was one continuous remembrance of Sri Ram and his glorious deeds. Arriving under the banyan tree, he mentally prostrated to Sri Ram and then began the evening session. The euphoria that prevailed in Ayodhya at the return of Sri Ram, Sita Devi, and Lakshman after 14 long years is hard to describe. Bliss prevailed in the hearts of all, especially in those of the Guru, of Bharat, Shatrughan, and of course, the mothers. The whole city was decorated, waiting to welcome Sri Ram. There were flags and festoons everywhere. The streets had been sprinkled with fragrance. The citizens held golden thalis in their hands with lighted lamps. Beautifully dressed young girls sang auspicious songs and performed the aarti joyfully. Sri Ram instantly assumed countless forms and met each one individually. When Jambavan, Vibhishan, Sugriv, Nala, Nila, Angad, and Hanuman saw the grandeur and majesty of Ayodhya, they felt that they did not want to remain in the form of bears, monkeys, and rakshasas. And so all of them assumed very attractive and appealing human forms. They all spent a few blissful months in Ayodhya before returning home. The only one who remained with Sri Ram was Hanuman. The very day Sri Ram returned to Ayodhya, he was crowned king, and Sita Devi became the queen. Sri Ram's vision and ideals of kingship and their impact on his kingdom is what we refer to as Ram Rajya. So what exactly is Ram Rajya? First, the idea that the king and his subjects constitute a single unit. The king is one who has friendly relations with everyone, who mingles with all his subjects and keeps the welfare of everyone in mind while ruling. The king must ensure the security of the people, provide employment, and also ensure that everyone is taught what dharma is. Dharma represents the noblest values of life. The king must live by the highest values of life, see that these are inculcated in his subjects, and he must ensure that the latter abide by them. If anyone fails to do so, he or she must be punished. In fact, Sri Ram is referred to as Maryada Purushottama. Maryada means the norms of good conduct, good behavior, and good manners. Sri Ram took the norms of dharma prescribed by the scriptures to a totally new and higher level. For Sri Ram, his subjects represented his altar of worship. In fact, he looked upon his subjects as God, and for them, he was willing to renounce affection, family, and even Sita Devi. The principle behind this thinking is that the king does not live for himself, and his own joy always comes second. Such were the high ideals set by Sri Ram for any ruler. During Ram Rajya, the people lived in bliss. Everyone's sorrows had faded away, and no one felt any enmity towards another. That is because likes and dislikes had vanished from people's minds. The citizens of Ayodhya fulfilled their respective dharmas as stipulated by the Vedas. There is a prescribed dharma for every age and stage of life, and such dharma cannot be understood and lived by our personal interpretation of it. It is stipulated by the scriptures, keeping in view the long-term welfare of the jiva. During Sri Ram's reign, this dharma was well understood and lived. Men followed the norm of one wife, and the wives too were faithful to their husbands. Physical and mental ailments did not exist during Ram Rajya. There were no natural calamities such as excessive rains, earthquakes, and droughts. Riots and revolts were unheard of, and therefore peace and harmony prevailed. The gardens and woods were rich with flowers, fruits, trees, and foliage, and exquisite birds and deer resided in them. All the animals, elephants, lions, tigers, and so on, lived in peaceful coexistence. None had any fear of being hunted. Cows gave as much milk as was required. The water flowing in the streams was cool, pure, and tasty. The sun gave out only the right amount of heat, and the clouds showered rain on demand. All the subjects of Sri Ram lived a full life, and no one died a premature death. Everyone was good-looking, healthy, educated, wise, wealthy, and generous. Poverty was unheard of. No one was cunning and deceitful, and thus there was no such thing as punishment. At this point, Kakbhushundi paused because there was a strong fluttering of wings. Quite evidently, some birds had a question. "Can Ram Rajya be established today?" asked a young peacock with longing in his eyes. "Well," said Kakbhushundi, "there is an outer Ram Rajya as well as an inner one. The inner Ram Rajya can be established in our hearts now itself through devotion and spiritual knowledge. In fact, what we experience together every evening in our storytelling sessions is Ram Rajya. After all," said Kakbhushundi, "there is an outer world and an inner world. We cannot control the state of the outside world, but if our mind is peaceful and blissful, it will remain unaffected by the external happenings." And on that inspiring and uplifting note, Kakbhushundi concluded the evening storytelling session. With hearts overflowing with gratitude, the birds bowed down to Kakbhushundi and flew away for the night.